It's on! It is on. Hello and welcome to another edition of our weekly special here, Disney Parks Talk Live, the show in which we talk about the week in Disney theme parks. And what a week it's been. My name is Judy Mosley. I co-founded Laughing Place along with that beautiful woman over there, Rebecca Mosley. How you doing, hon?
I'm doing really well.
Yeah, how's your half day been on the desk?
It's been good. But I have been drinking more chicory coffee than I had the past few weeks, thanks to all these New Orleans events I went to last week. So
we will most definitely be talking about. And down below me there in his let's see, is this, well, it doesn't matter. Is that a Roosevelt's?
It is. It's Jafar and the Scarab theme.
Jeremiah is wearing a Roosevelt's, provided to him. Yes, compliments of Roosevelt's. His whole wardrobe, compliments of Roosevelt's, it seems. Jeremiah Good, he is our vice president in charge of East Coast theme parks. How you doing, Jerem?
I'm okay. That was just the most uneventful introduction I think you've given me in a while.
Jeremiah, the man in charge of getting all the swag here at LP, except for the stuff that I want. How about that? All right, let's get started.
Where are we going first? What's our first story?
Our first story is a tropical storm, Idalia, which is soon to be making landfall. Central Florida seems to be, at least part of Central Florida seems to be in its sights. There was a tropical storm watch for Orange, Lake, Seminole, and Osceola counties. Of course, Disney World is in Orange and Osceola. I guess our weatherman Tony said the track may be looking like it's not gonna go to Orlando as much as previously thought, but obviously whenever there is a tropical storm / hurricane in Central Florida, everyone gets on watch.
Yeah.
Disney World, obviously, they know exactly what they're doing. They've been through this so many times before, but it's something to pay attention to, right, Jeremiah?
Yes. Disney World and Universal, as of now, are still business as usual. They'll update via social medias as soon as anything, or if anything changes. Busch did announce that tomorrow they're closing, I believe, at 3, and they're planning to be closed through Wednesday and reopening on Thursday.
And Busch is in Tampa, which is like an hour and a half south and closer to the water, the Gulf, than Orlando. So, yeah, Tampa is definitely under a much, right now, a much scarier situation than Orlando is.
Yeah, and again, we never know. I've lived here 10 years. I've been through, I think, 3 or 4 hurricanes, and out of those, only one of them was really, anything above a 6.0 earthquake, in my opinion.
I was just going to point out that the Tampa area, you may hear like Busch Gardens. That's a mostly coaster park, so those types of parks are much more impacted by even like heavy rainstorms, as opposed to Disney parks, which can still be operational in the midst of heavy rain. So Disney has put into effect their temporary suspension regarding cancellation dynamics. So we have a article about that on the site if you are curious. And Disney World has a special fact on their website regarding kind of hurricane dynamics. If you just, for whatever reason, you've decided that you'd rather come at some other time, check into that, and you can find out more information about that on the site as to cancellation policies and whatnot as this tropical storm approaches Florida.
Yeah, and obviously, if you're on a cruise, Disney or otherwise, just pay attention, because I think definitionally they're closer to the water, both Port Canaveral and Port Everglades, Disney sells out of. So, obviously, just let you know there's a hurricane, tropical storm on the East Coast near Florida. Feels like just last week there was one on the West Coast, but now we're on the East Coast.
So right now there's one on the West Coast, and then next week there's one on the East Coast.
And didn't the Tampa airport closed earlier as well, I believe? Yeah. So a lot of stuff to pay attention to. Hopefully, kind of like the one in Southern California, it turns out not to be as big a deal as it potentially could be.
But they're planning on bigger ones this year. So keep track if you have any vacations planned.
I don't know why. I feel like they should schedule less bigger ones to have less impact. Rebecca, I saw you did some social media on this, so you probably have an idea what this is.
Okay, this is a beautiful mural that is coming to the lobby area of the villas at Disneyland Hotel. That's that tower that we're seeing under construction there at the Disneyland Resort. And this artwork, you can see the artist involved has had some background within those like Golden Book, those storybook art. So we have more information about the artist. We have her name is Lorelei, and I want to say her last name is Beauvais, based upon the accentuation there. But yeah, she's done illustrations for little golden books like The Princess and the Frog, Toy Story, Ride 'em Cowboy, and Wreck-It Ralph. So you can see that type of style there. But I love the combination of classic and new. We've got characters ranging from those classics like Alice in Wonderland all the way through to Mirabelle and Encanto. So, yay!
And that's available for digital download, isn't
yes,
that?
Yes, it is. Yes, and in a variety of sizes. I mean, you can get a really high resolution of that, and we've got the link on the site to those.
And you can go see it for yourself live on September 28th when the villas open. September 28th, a new 12-story tower. Very exciting there.
Hopefully,
all right.
It's available, by the way.
Jeremiah, I'm going to leave this one all for you. Destination D is coming up. Saturday is the big day. Who's going to be talking? What do we know at this point?
So Destination D23, really, I know you were close. They put out the announcement, the panels. Anybody who hasn't been to Destination D23 or has only been to D23 Expo, this is much more like a regular convention where you just sit in the room and the things rotate around you. It's like the Carousel Progress. They have some fun lineups. Everything from Josh opening the party, which always turns into, the overload of us and social media talking about what he just announced. So who knows what could, and has been announced that may be changed. Then we go into Michael Vargo talking about D23 activities and the update for that. And then we go into the fun stuff, including a look at Oswald and Mickey, the early years of the Walt Disney Studios. And I'm trying to think of everything else on there. I mean, they have everything that's under the umbrella of Disney. We have a Nat Geo presentation. We also have a Marvel presentation about the 60 years, which will be lots of fun. The head of Marvel Comics, Marvel Entertainment, I don't know what department his actually over, CB Cebulski is going to be there, and he always puts on a great show. So they have some fun stuff.
Marvel Comics editor-in-chief. They're also going to have a Disney Cruise Line, 25 years of innovative design at sea. Epcot, always in the state of becoming. But, the big deal, not the big deal, but certainly what a lot of fans are looking forward to is Josh D'Amaro on Saturday. We got so much teasing, not much announcing at the last D23 Expo. So we are really hoping for some actual announcements coming up on that Saturday.
And the nice thing is, those of you, like most of us, who weren't able to get tickets because they sold out in minutes, will be able to live stream it on Saturday. A lot of people have asked about Sunday. And if you look at Sunday's lineup, it is more talking about the films and some of the stuff that they can't show via the live stream. So if they were to show it, it'd just kind of drop in the middle. So it's nice that they're focusing more on that, or focusing on Saturday for all the theme park and big announcements, and Sunday will be more of the behind the scenes and the making of stuff.
Except for the Sunday Disney Global Ambassador Showdown, which sounds like it's going to be kind of rough and tumble. I hope you're able to see that. I'm going to try to get a ringside seat for that. I mean, I've got my money on Rayvon. He's kind of squirrely, so I think he can take down all the new ambassadors.
By the way, this year's Destination D23 is sponsored by a brand called Lug. I'm guessing it may be Lug, but I'm going to go with Lug because it sounds like it's short for luggage, because mostly they seem to highlight things like purses and backpacks. But check out this fleece hoodie. I just thought this was cute with all the polka dots. So there
I
you
wonder if I'm going to get a nice fanny pack as a gift or something.
go. There you go. Maybe. See, I just feel like we're going slowly through all the different luggage, because wasn't one year brought to us by American Tourister?
Yes.
And then it's just like slowly but surely we will find our way through the various luggage brands brought to
What was that? What was that brand that they gave to the people around the world? Maybe.
Oh, that was, I want to say that was.
Starts with a T. I remember
Starts
this.
with a T, right?
4-letter word that starts with a T.
Yeah, I wanted to
Kent.
say Toby. Yeah, I don't remember.
Ale.
Shut up, Jeremiah.
Talisman. I just like saying talisman because it's
All right. Rebecca's got. Oh, she can't find that out because this next story is all about Rebecca.
What is it?
it's a story about you.
So, about a few days ago, Rebecca got to go down to Southern California
I did.
and check out some food from Tianas
I did.
Palace. Want to talk about that, Rebecca?
Yeah, we didn't get to see the location itself. We did get to see a couple of images. They're clearly bringing in elements inspired by the film, whether it's that's my screen, sir.
That's you.
Whether so, like here you got some of the bayou and in the murals. They're
I
going
can
to be,
picture exactly where that is. Like that's
right?
how.
Yeah. One of the things that apparently is coming with this changeover is a show kitchen where they're going to have beignets being made as you enter, and they've got some nods that you would. I love this. Okay, so this is from the film, right? Firefly 5 plus Lou, which was an homage to the Imagineering Dixieland band that would play. Well, Imagineers artists would play. They sometimes would play at Disneyland. And now, so that was homaged in the film with Firefly 5. It's called Plus Lou there. And now it's going to be actually realized in the restaurant in Disneyland. So,
And then in the sequel,
right?
They're going to actually have Ward Kimball and everybody in there playing music.
That is gonna explode.
Right, so that's pretty cool. The cast member costumes will be featuring the water lilies that we've seen throughout the film be attached to Tiana, the kind of her signature logo. Yes, Mr. GB?
No, you're doing fine. I was just going to say, people have been wondering if there would be beignets at this restaurant. Were you able to find out if there would be beignets at Tiana's Palace?
Oh, there have definitely been beignets. Not only will we have the traditional Mickey beignets that have been there for forever, but they have a show kitchen, and they're going to be showing us making the beignets as we arrive. And in this case, they're going to be glazed and have filling. This is kind of, to me, a newer aspect of beignet eating. For me, beignets were always just you have them in a bag, you throw your powdered sugar, you shake, and you eat. Now they have all.
That's the definition of a beignet.
That's a song.
Now they have glazed, so they're yummy, in that way. And these in particular have lemon filling. They're a throwback to the palette of the icebox pies that you get down there in the South. It's kind of like a key lime pie, but instead of lime, it's lemon. So it's that nice tart and sweet. Oh man, it was super tasty, really messy, but yummy.
So
and
Rebecca,
using this as an opportunity to have other flavors as well. So you may come and find holiday flavors during other times of the year, right? So it'll be a fun addition there at Tiana's Palace to return. Yes.
I want Arbor Day beignets. Though.
Yeah, I know. Everybody does.
So Rebecca got to sample a ton of this food. She wrote a great article about it. I just put a link out there. So rather than go through the whole thing, we did do a show about it. But what were some of your standouts, either plus or minus, that you can talk about? And I'll show them while you talk about them.
Okay, I was a big fan of the chicory coffee blend that came with a cane syrup sweetened cream. And you can also get a Firefly Ray glow cube with that. Yes, Mr. Jeremiah?
So I think it was about 5 years ago, I was at a certain club.
I was going to say, this was a club.
Yes, it was an exclusive for there. Yeah. And when I saw that they're putting these out, I'm like, oh.
Yep. No more just for the hoity-toity. Now we can get them. But so Firefly Ray, that was one. And then my most favorite thing is the po' boy. The bread is amazing. It's being brought in from New Orleans because, as we've learned via the Bodine Bakery and the pizzeria in Epcot, whose name escapes me, via Napoli?
Yeah.
Yeah, Napoli, yeah.
Water is very important in your bread making or your dough making, and it can really change the reality of what you're making. So they get this certain kind of water for the pizza there, so it tastes like truly Italian pizza. And you've got the Bodine Bakery with its bread and its mother dough and all that coming down to, so now we've got New Orleans bread for the po' boy, and in this case it's a barbecue beef. It's a beef, slow cooked, amazing. Comes with house-made pickles, which are kind of that sweet and sour, a little bit vinegar, a little bit sweet, and red beans and rice. The red beans are cooked in a pork base, so I didn't get to try them. Other people at my table seem to like them. One of the common themes throughout the afternoon was that the food was a bit spicier than people are used to at a theme park, kind of for that theme park public. Not too spicy. Nobody was complaining, oh, this is so hot, it's burning my mouth off. But they're just like, I'm glad to see them embracing some spice.
So,
yes, Mr. Jeremiah.
Did you get to try any specific green fluids that may be sold next to Tiana's?
We did not get to try them, but they told us to rest assured mint juleps in their non-alcoholic state will return, will be there. Mint julep bar is not going anywhere. Tiana wasn't going to oust the Mickey beignets or mint juleps. They also let us know that this location will continue to be without alcohol.
That was my next question.
That isn't a change happening. Also returning that stage. They did not change that live stage when with this revisioning. That's still going to be there. So you will still have the opportunity for live entertainment at the location. They did expand the patio a bit with the redesign. They removed that weird kind of stair step that they had for Fantasmic that they had done. That got removed, I guess, during around the time of the COVID era. And so that gave them the opportunity to expand the patio without impeding on the guest walkway much. So they're actually expanding the dining space with this refurbishment. There's going to be more dining. They're adding mobile ordering. So yeah, exciting changes at Tianas Palace. I'm eager for everybody to try them because they're really going for, I think before a lot of the French market and New Orleans square food was like theme park food with a New Orleans flair. And I think this particular location specifically is really trying to dive into an authentic New Orleans cuisine. And I'm interested to see how the theme park going dynamic embraces it, so yeah.
And we'll find out September 7th, almost here. Tianas Palace opens officially to the public. Really excited to have that open. And sticking in food for just a bit, just today, Disneyland announced 5 new plant-based items. These always resonate with me because I am a vegetarian. I'm not plant-based, but I can always eat these. So looking forward to checking out some of these around the Disneyland Resort. As these look like food, like actual food, like chorizo quesadilla, but plant-based. Very exciting to someone like me. Let's see. Also at Disneyland Resort, San Francisco, construction continues.
San Francisco. Okay, so I was just at California Adventure to finally experience Rogers the Musical, and I got to take a few. I shot these pictures of the Torii Gate. It is really stunning in person. I was a little bit surprised. It is way bigger than I expected it to see. I expected it to be a lot small, like shorter, kind of like short and stout. But it's much taller. And it doesn't impede as horrifically as I worried it would on one of my favorite vistas, the one down to what is now Pixar Pier. I mean, more so than I liked it when it was just I could see the big wheel without the Torii Gate in the way. But it's fine. I'm getting over it. But the color is nice. I like I say, it's really it does tower over you much more than I anticipated when I was there. But it was great, and they added Baymax Boudin Bakery yumminess, and I got another one of those Baymax macarons that are about this big around. And let me tell you, do not skip that. If you enjoy macaron, you will be shocked at how well they're able to realize that as a one that's about this big. You can share it because it's super sweet. You can share it. It looks like a little Baymax head. Its interior is that Nutella is right in that very center, and then that's surrounded by a sweeter cream. Oh yeah, that's some goodness. But be careful because that black of his eyes, man, if it gets in your fingernails or on your fingers, it's hard to wipe off. But it's a goodie.
I wonder for this, can you lay him on his back and turn him into like a little bread bowl with his belly? You think that would work?
No, thank you.
No, I think that's a good idea. I think they missed an opportunity.
That's where they put the clam chowder?
Yeah, exactly. Just lay him on his back with the belly and eat off the belly. All right, we're going to stay at Disneyland Resort for just a little bit longer. We're going to bring on our colleague, Mike Celestino, who is extremely, extremely busy today, but he has agreed to come on and spend a little bit of time talking about Ahsoka coming to the parks. Hello, Mike Celestino.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. So you got to experience something that kind of a rare experience, a very, very popular new character coming to the park. And it is an experience, is it not?
Yeah, everybody was really excited about this. There were a lot of people gathered waiting for Ahsoka Tano to make her first appearance, not in the parks, but her first appearance in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. She's appeared, I think, at Star Wars weekends, previously Star Wars Night at Disneyland, but this is her first time in Galaxy's Edge. Look at that crowd gathered to say hi to her for the first time there.
Do you know how many appearances she ended up making on this day, Mike? Throughout the day, are you at all? Do you have a concept?
I don't. I had to hustle out of there to go to a screening that evening, but I would assume at least a few.
Yeah, I just wondered if it was kind of out there.
Do you know what's typical for other characters that have been there?
Usually, I think it's like half hour on and half hour off for most of the day. So,
I'm impressed in how many already had Tano gear.
Yes. They were all out there that day, including some little ones. Very cool. What do you think of this costume, Mike?
Well, first of all, I don't know.
Just give up the magic. Just do it.
Yeah. Breaking the fourth wall here. The cast member playing Ahsoka was shorter than I thought she would be.
She seems smaller, like just petite.
Yeah, petite and smaller and shorter, but it reminded me a little of younger Ahsoka rather than Rosario.
Oh, she is small. That is a lot small. Oh, that's the guess.
Yeah, that's
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as far as the costume goes, I thought they really nailed it. It's certainly more detailed than it has been in the past. And I saw a couple comments saying that they liked the way the Montrals and the Leku, all the head tail stuff, looked more in this version than they did on the show. I don't know if I agree with that, but I can certainly see people being impressed by this version of the costume.
To me, it almost looked like it's riding too far up on her forehead.
Oh, yeah.
Really.
I could see that.
Well, there you go. You can go see that on our YouTube channel right now. It's got a lot of pictures as well on Laughing Place. Ahsoka making appearances now, regular appearances at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Ahsoka, of course, you can catch on Disney Plus at 6 p.m. The best news ever, Mike has heard. 6 p.m. on Tuesday evening, right?
6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
So Mike writes all of those very spoilery episode recaps each week, and then he does a Who's the Boss podcast. Who's your guest for this next episode?
This next episode is Sarah Woloski from Skywalking Through Neverland.
Awesome. And they will go very in-depth talking about the episode, and those are a lot of fun. So Mike has other Star Wars obligations to get to, but thanks for coming on and talking Ahsoka with us, Mike.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye, Mike.
All right, and a little more Ahsoka. I don't think Mike got to try this out, so we didn't have to keep him on for that. But they have Ahsoka magic shots. Have you gotten to do these yet, Jeremiah?
I have not. They have a lot of new magic shots that I really want to do. The one with Chopper, I love. The Loth Cat is too cute. those will be next time I'm in the studios. I'll be seeking those out.
Very cool. I love magic shots. Magic shots are one of the more underrated things, I think. They're so cool. What else? Figment meet and greet, or we presume a Figment meet and greet construction location.
The former location of Wreck-It Ralph and Princess Vanellope at the exit of the Journey into Imagination attraction, or the entrance to the ImageWorks area. Actually, I guess that's the exit of the ImageWorks. Yeah, they closed that 2 weeks ago. They started, the Vanellope stopped meeting, and then this giant black curtain went up around it. We don't know if that's where Figment will be, but we're probably, as I've said to many people, we'll know by the 9th of September where and when we'll be able to meet Figment.
They definitely did confirm Figment is coming by the end of summer, so that's why we think this is probably it, but no, we don't know for certain yet. Let's see. Back to food for just a moment. The Plaza Restaurant, one of our favorite places to eat at the Magic Kingdom back when we lived there. It's not the most fancy place, but it's one of the easier places to get into, and it's just more casual. You feel like the servers have been there forever. It's one of those kind of, feels like a place where the regulars go.
It's always a forgotten gem for me. Like whenever I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, the Plaza.
So apparently they don't want to be forgotten anymore because they have some of the specialty shakes. I love these specialty shakes. They have added some of those. They've also added some pink cheesecake, like one of my favorite desserts, my favorite color. That's hard to pass up. For you carnivores out there, this pot roast stack looks pretty yummy.
It does.
So,
Pretty yummy. Ridiculously yummy.
And for other carnivores, they have this crab cake burger as well. So lots of fun new stuff over at the Plaza Restaurant at the end of Main Street, next to the ice cream shop. Hard to miss on your way to Tomorrowland. Go check
Always, I would say almost every time I've gone to the Magic Kingdom, that is a location you can do a booking for or a walk up for pretty easily.
Tip of the day, at least until people get a hold of what you just said. The Lorcana cards that were released to hobby shops and were supposed to be released to the Disneyland and Disney World last week, but we're a little late. Finally, were released to Disneyland and Disney World this morning. Mac actually was there this morning in Florida, right around 12:30 p.m. Florida time, to try to buy some, and they had already sold out of the starter decks. They still had the gift sets available at the time, but they'd already sold out of the starter decks. I don't know how permanent that is. Nor have I heard how they're doing at Disneyland, but they are now for sale in the theme parks as they were expected to be. And I think in the next couple of days, they're just going to become general sale, including online sale.
September 1st is supposed to be the general. I know that. Thank you. I know. Teapot. I know that there were reports over the past few days that some big box stores have been putting out their cards early, so I was going to venture over there last night, but I didn't get a chance to.
Let's see. Oogie Boogie Bash is coming to Disneyland Resort pretty soon.
Don't talk about that. That's
the one
character. I know the one character that I've always wanted to meet is, well, we're assuming is going to be there, and that's Judge Doom.
So they put out a video where they tease characters that are coming, and apparently this year the tease is not very subtle compared to last year. And two characters seem to be coming. Jeremiah, who's the first one is Yokai from Big Hero 6,
who I want to say we've seen before. I can't remember when he's made an appearance, but I know that he has been out at something, not an Oogie Boogie Bash, or maybe it was the Oogie Boogie in 2019. I just don't remember that. And then, of course, Judge Doom, not Judge Dredd, as you said last time.
Did I say Judge Dredd?
You did. I think last week you said Judge Dredd for something. I was just like, wrong.
I am seeing pictures from Mouse Steps at Disneyland Paris Fan Days. Yokai has been there. So, has there ever been a Judge Doom walk around?
Not. Other than the very scary Jessica Rabbit, again from Disneyland Paris from a few years ago, and Roger. Those are the only characters that I think have ever been out for. Oh, and Eddie Valiant. Eddie Valiant was in Paris also.
And Kyle says Disneyland After Dark Villains Night also had Yokai from.
I knew it was somewhere. Thank you, Kyle.
But if Judge Doom, and it seems he will, makes an appearance at Joe keeps calling him Dr. Doom. If Dr. Dread makes an appearance at Oogie Boogie Bash,
Dr. Dre?
people are gonna go. People are gonna go so crazy for that. So that will be exciting. Looking forward to the launch of Oogie Boogie Bash and so much cool stuff. I've never been to one of those, but they really do it right there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I think over in Florida, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is already entering its 3rd month.
It is.
Right?
Yes, they changed out the plants because they do that with the seasons. So the pumpkins are now squash.
All right. Let's see. Not a whole lot more going on at Disney World, but back at Disneyland, Rebecca got to go to yet another event and eat some yummy food. You want to talk about your trip to downtown Disney?
So as you may have noticed, downtown Disney's been under a bit of a transformation, right? It's been around for 20 years, and they've been slowly kind of transforming it into a look that's much more of the kind of that California mid-century look, kind of a standardization of the storefronts where we've lost the jaguar and toucan and what else was hanging out in front of Rainforest. We lost the enormous chef that was there in front of Naples, and recently the saxophone disappeared from Jazz Kitchen. But fear not. Inside, I guarantee you, it's still that Southern hospitality, that amazing New Orleans cuisine. But what they've done is they've embraced the realities of being in California and the desire of the public to want a little bit of a lighter fare. And they've also realized that Californians enjoy a bit of grilled food, right? We've got that moderate weather. We're outdoors a lot. So they have enhanced their grilling capabilities at the restaurant, and they've added a number of grilled items to the menu. And so now you have a lot of really sure that Doobie's asking me stuff. Yeah, sure. I'm still working on the write-up for it. So Doobie's asking me, can I just share the pictures that I know that you have from it? So yeah, here we go. This is the grilled salmon with a succotash. Okay, this was the best succotash I have ever had. It was super
suffering succotash.
And when Rebecca comes home raving about succotash.
It is not really easy to make a good succotash because black-eyed peas are very hard to prepare properly.
Especially when what's her name left the band. They just haven't been the same since.
We're gonna have to put you in a timeout, Jeremiah.
Suffering succotash, do we?
This event was a nice evening event in order to just kind of entertain the media and let them experience the restaurant. They did it as a progressive dinner. They started us out on the patio with some appetizers and drinks, and then moved us into one of the upstairs dining rooms so we could see the redesign. And that's where we had a salad. It's a LA Cobb, a tremendously bright vinaigrette. It reminded me very much of my favorite Cobb salad, which is not found at Disney Hollywood Studios, but was found at the Grand Floridian Cafe and has not returned after COVID, and breaks my heart every time I'm there. But yeah, so this was an amazing salad. And then they moved us from what they called the Queen's Room over to that upstairs. This is one of the dishes that was served out on the balcony. This appetite when they were kind of letting us just look at the menu in general. But that upstairs room on the other side, it is now the sunset room, and they have closed off the wall where those two big windows were, and they've covered it with a beautiful sunset mural. On the exterior now is where you have that enormous jazz, orange and fuchsia toned mural. They're really embracing the idea that, New Orleans is a coastal town, and now they're here in California, which is a coastal community, Orange County, a coastal community. And so that's where they're at with this. They're still going to have that live New Orleans music. They rather than the Jazz Kitchen Express downstairs having kind of grab and go sandwiches and whatnot, they're focused specifically on the beignets And now the beignets also are embracing that new glazed notion. Yes, Mr. Jeremiah?
Juby, can you zoom in on that photo? I'm trying to see who I know in that. I see
Okay.
Robert, Mr. Daps right there.
Yes.
And
Yeah, a lot of familiar faces. But yeah, the beignets now with that glazed element, they are able to have a lot of different flavors. And in fact, our dessert was the bananas Foster beignet that they have. And if you didn't know it, the Brennan family is actually credited with the development of the bananas Foster long time ago, back when New Orleans was becoming kind of a hub of banana imports from South America. So yeah,
that's bananas.
it was yummy.
Foster.
It was yummy.
Yeah, looks good. Looks like you had some yummy drinks there too.
There was a lot of yummy drinks. The one that was the most interesting featured an Empress Gin, which is a botanical, so it had a very floral note to it. It was a beautiful color. This was a frozen hot chocolate, amazing drink. And next to it is a frozen mint julep. By the way, that frozen hot chocolate, I overheard Mr. Brennan saying that he imbibes in those a lot. He actually, I got the impression that's a frequent breakfast drink, the way he was talking. This was a nojito. It's strawberry and mint muddled together. No alcohol, but really refreshing. It was so hot that day. I appreciated it.
You drink and you go to the events that have the best non-alcoholic drinks. I don't drink, and when I go, I'm like, here's a Coke. Okay.
Some lobster.
Cool. Awesome.
So like I say, I'm working on my write-up for this experience. I shared a couple of images that night, a little bit of the entertainment we were having. Nope, that's not from that night. That's from earlier.
I know, but you talked about this earlier, didn't you? So I wanted to show the picture.
But if you haven't been to Brennan's, if you haven't been to the Jazz Kitchen in a while, I really suggest you give it another look. Jazz Kitchen, Coastal Grill. The team there, most of the team there has been there for 20 years, 10, 20 years. The executive chef's been there for 20 years, seems to have come on not too long after Downtown Disney itself opened. And so it was pretty cool to hear about the kind of the family that was there. And much in the same way that Disney leaves little nuggets whenever they redo a place, that piano is no longer there with that stage down in and so what they've done is they've taken that decorated piano top and it hangs on the wall now downstairs. So you still got that little piece of what had been in sights. So I love that they have kind of that similar love of the history. Yes, Mr. Jeremiah.
So what I'm hearing is, Juby, shut up, stop complaining about it, go and enjoy it.
It's really
I plan on it. I'm done complaining. The complaints are over, and I've never had a complaint with the food at the place. So
yeah, no,
it's always beautiful. Amazing.
Yeah, there you go. That piano, that beautiful bedazzled piano lid. So
I am happy for. I mean, the fact is they're still here. I remember the opening of Downtown Disney, and almost every place is long gone. And Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen is still here, and that's something to applaud.
I think 2 restaurateurs have lasted the entire run: the Catal Group and Brennan's. I think those are the two original restaurateurs left. And I think if you look into the what the business spirit, I don't know exactly how to define it, but I think if you look into the way those organizations are, you'll find a lot of similarities with the hospitality and the using the food as the storytelling, just kind of elevating that dining experience just a little bit more. And I think that's what made them such good partners with Disney, and why they're still there, and why the Downtown Disney goers, have embraced them over all these years.
So have they finished Disney Quest yet across the way from there? Is it open yet?
It's open, yeah. Randy Bumbarger was over the opening ceremony.
That's where you go to bowl now, man.
Yeah.
Rebecca, before we leave the design resort, while you were down there, you got to experience Rogers the Musical for the first time. What'd you think of that?
And the last.
I know. It was really good. It was surprisingly entertaining. They did a great job of embracing
Surprisingly.
the ridiculousness.
Yeah.
I mean,
why do you say surprisingly?
Well, because the theater people in my life sometimes takes themselves a little bit too seriously in their art. And so therefore I was glad that they were able to just kind of, shed a little bit of that and fully embrace the cheesiness, but yet they found a way to make not the whole thing be that way, because you couldn't 30 minutes of pure cheese wouldn't have worked, right? So it's a nice
30 minutes of cheese.
it was a
Did
nice
Homer
balance.
Simpson join our show?
They did a nice balance leading up to that, save the city moment, which you do get in its entirety, the save the city, save the day, it's there, but everything leading up to it doesn't feel completely disconnected from it, but yet it also doesn't feel totally as cheesy as that particular moment does in itself, I guess is the best way to put it. But everybody left the theater in a great mood, which was, I think, the most fun about it. Was you enter the theater, you're hot, you're sweaty, it's pushing and shoving. I mean, not truly pushing and shoving, but it is, at the hike. Because the first time we went, they were like, "This is close." I forgot the rule of the Hyperion Theater is that you don't presume that because the cast member told you that to go there, that means the other levels are full. And so I got sent to the upper level, which with my mobility issues is challenging, but I didn't want to not have a seat. So I'm like, okay, so I'm walking slowly up the stairs to the mezzanine. I finally make my way to the top, and then I see all those other seats. And I was like, oh, I forgot the first rule of I have mobility issues. Can I sit there? But I made it. I'm good. But I was so tired. And like I say, it was hot outside. And so you're like, ugh. But then the show comes on, it's beautiful, the entertaining, tremendously talented people, tremendously talented. And then you just when you're leaving that theater, everybody's leaving that theater in such a great mood. And so yeah, I loved it. I hope it comes again. I hope it's one of those things where it periodically will have like a limited run, because it doesn't rely a lot. It's mostly digital sets. So there isn't a lot of stuff that would have to, quote, be stored in essence to bring it to life again. So it feels like something that could have kind of, periodic limited engagements like the Electrical Parade with a lot less storage.
I get to see it. I don't know when, but it would be nice. All right, let's do
Jeremiah, right?
I'm gonna fly out this weekend, just see it one last time and say,
Awesome.
haha, Doobie.
Okay.
I'll trade you.
Nah, okay. No problem. You can have it. Disneyland Paris. A few Disneyland Paris
That was announced at like 4:00 this morning.
Avengers Power of the Night, their just insane drone show, is actually going to be extended a little bit. It will be returning it will be it'll be back on September 1st, going through November 5th. Then it'll take a Christmas break and then come back on December 2nd through January 7th. So technically that's not a Christmas break, but it will take a break and then come back December 2nd through January 7th. Next up, Alice in Wonderland show is coming to Disneyland Studios Park in 2024.
Can't wait to see that show.
It just sounds crazy. The crazy part to me is they describe it as modern and flamboyant. So a modern and flamboyant Alice in Wonderland show coming to the Studios Park in 2024. This would appear to be the Lights Motels Action stage at the Walt Disney Studios Park.
No, that's all gone.
The location. The location's gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were having a discussion about that. We think it's not the theater that's now showing Pixar. It's the one that has the Mickey and the Magical Map. So,
okay.
But again,
seriously, because I'm sorry.
I know it's a massive set.
It's got the bridge. It's got the jump point for the car or the land point.
Yeah, but where that was, that's all part of the lagoon expansion area.
Okay. I'll take your word. This wasn't my thought. This was given to me by someone much more knowledgeable than me, but that doesn't mean it's right. The Disneyland Hotel, which has been closed for a while. In fact, the around the world trip, they couldn't stay at the Disneyland Hotel at Disneyland Paris because it wasn't open, but it will be reopening again.
Themed
So-
to Only Murders in the Building.
It does look that way. Oh my goodness! Now that you said that.
No, when you watch the whole thing and it jumps from window to window, it's like, is it only murders in the? It's only murders in the Disneyland Hotel.
So yeah, it's going to be coming back, and also, finally, there is a new nighttime sequence and daytime show coming to Disneyland Paris for the Disney Symphony of Colors, including using drones to create a parade in the sky. Once again, Disneyland Paris is droning us out, and I'm feeling very sad.
Something
about
that kind of falls in the realm of parks talk. The head of live entertainment for Disneyland Paris is now coming to Walt Disney World, so that's an exciting announcement.
Is he coming via drone? Because we could really use that.
He didn't say if he's flying over like Green Goblin style or not, but he is the new over entertainment here, so that's exciting, especially the stuff that Disneyland Paris and Walt Disney Studios Park has done over the past few years. I think it'll be exciting to see what new life is brought into it.
It would be. So Gio a moment ago said, still thinking Rogers is going to the cruise line at some point. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Speaking of cruise line, we got a fun piece of something, a fun, what word would you use? A treasure box, a fun treasure box from Disney Cruise Line. And inside was this cool map. And on the map were perhaps some clues to what's coming to the Disney Treasure. As we all know, they're going to be live streaming an event soon talking about the Disney Treasure, kind of unveiling it to the world. So there's the treasure box we got. Unfortunately, here is the key to the treasure box.
Little thing where I put my finger back here and I remove it so that there's key.
I left the keys at work. So tonight, Rebecca will get to see inside the treasure box. So but inside it's this cool map, and Rebecca can't wait to see it in person. We did an article, actually. Alex did a great article with some speculation on what clues might be in the map to what's coming to the Disney Treasure. Just put the link to that in the chat. Invite you to come check out that article and see if you agree or disagree with the clues on the Disney Treasure.
I really have to check out that article.
You should. One last thing I wanted to bring up is there was a fun article written by Gavin Doyle, one of our newer contributors here at Laughing Place. He is the proprietor of MickeyVisit.com, and he did an article put in the chat called Top 5 Attractions at Disneyland Resort to Experience at Night. So I'm just going to ask each of you really quick, what do you think is a particularly good nighttime attraction at the resort?
Rise the Resistance.
Thank you, Jeremiah. Jeremiah is
Big Thunder Mountain. Big Thunder Mountain is the #1 attraction to ride at night.
You agree, Rebecca?
That was where my mind first went, was if I'm thinking nighttime attractions was an attraction that I make sure that I ride night versus day. And that was one that what popped into my head was that. I think also I would probably go with Radiator Springs Racers.
Yeah,
that's another one that the nighttime is special.
He has 5 on his list: Pixar Pal Around, Mad Tea Party, Big Thunder Mountain. Mad Tea Party's got the cool lighting there.
Yeah.
I can see that. Mad Tea Party, Radiator Springs, as you mentioned, and the one that came to my mind immediately was Matterhorn.
Matterhorn.
So, yes.
But Matterhorn's a lot inside, so
A lot, but not all. And then when you're up there and I've ridden the Matterhorn with the electrical parade going. That's a cool side.
I remember back in the day where you could wait in line on that side as the parade went by. I had friends that had Christmas lights without paying $20 for them as the parade went by.
Another one hit my mind, but nope, now it's gone again. Oh well.
Do that. Haunted Mansion, according. Actually, Haunted Mansion is good because your eyes have adjusted. So.
Christmas time, Small World.
Oh, of course. And Kyle just said Small World Holiday, so that's good.
But you're not wrong. I'll never forget one of when I rode like Space Mountain at night, and I was like, oh wait, I can see so much more.
Yeah.
Like, no,
I was like joking.
Ride it during the day, so you can't see anything when you're inside.
I think Geo wins. Geo wins that one. Yeah, Storybook at night is beautiful.
I'm not a fan. I mean, it's okay, but I'm not a fan. Casey Jr. at night, yes. Storybook Land, not so much.
Rocket jets, Astrojet. Oh no, that's not up there anymore.
Rocket
I'm all
rods.
picturing-
That was fun at night when I got in line at 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Rocket ride.
All right, guys. Anything else?
I was
either one of
thinking,
you
we
guys?
didn't say any Disney World ones. I was trying to think, is there any at Disney
Well-
World that is like you want to do at night?
Everest. Safari used to
sure.
be fun at night. when
Yeah,
they
that
did
was.
that.
That was fun.
Geo said Slinky Dog is good at night.
We are definitely forgetting one of the best attractions at night, the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, they've done. It's really improved. No, honestly, it's a nice experience at night now.
Disneyland at night with the lights that they do is always
Yes,
fun.
you're a big fan of that? Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of the lights.
I don't
You
think
just
ours.
like driving in the dark. What are you, a tourist here in Florida? Don't know
Want
how
to
to
see
turn your
something
headlights?
really scary? Yeah.
It's the National Geographic song.
Are we done here?
We've been
I
done
think
for a
we're done.
while.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Kyle and I'll be back, or I'll be back. We're still trying to replace Kyle tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Wow.
for another edition of LPTV Morning Show. Oh, we got Michaela saying if we're talking WDW, though, Jungle is better during the day.
Always.
Oh, that's sweet.
Well,
Okay,
they don't-
thanks for
they don't
joining us.
shoot hippos in the trees there, so.
See everybody tomorrow morning. Big 3-show Tuesday tomorrow. Don't miss it. I'm trying.
I know.
Forget it. Good.